If you want to make weekly income selling puts, but every video you watch feels rushed, confusing, or way too risky, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to sell a put for income, step by step, using a real example on Palantir with a realistic target of $298 per week. Now, I'm going to explain this like you're a total beginner. No jargon, no rushing, no pretending that risk does not exist. And stay until the end, because I'm going to show you what I do if Palantir drops below my strike price, how I think about assignment, and how I focus on realized gains while minimizing losses without panic. This is Cash Flow Options Queen, calm, structured income, not hype. Now, most videos jump straight into clicking buttons. That's not how beginners should learn. Before you place a trade, you need to understand these three things. Number one, what you're agreeing to. Number two, why you're being paid. And number three, what happens when the stock does something that you don't like. If you understand those three things, selling puts becomes calm instead of stressful. Now let's start at the very beginning. When you sell a put, you get paid cash up front. That cash is called the premium. In exchange, you make one promise. If the stock is below a certain price on a certain date, I agree to buy 100 shares at that price. That's the entire contract. You are not predicting direction, and you are not guessing where the stock will go. You're just saying this: I'm willing to buy this stock at this price, and I want to be paid for that willingness. That's why selling puts is an income strategy. Now, here's the most important rule in this entire video. Never sell a put on a company you would hate to own. Sounds simple, right? Because if you get assigned, you own it. Assignment is not punishment. It is the contract doing exactly what it said it would do. If you respect this rule, most beginner disasters never happen. Now let's talk about Palantir. Palantir was founded in 2003. It's been around for over 20 years. They build data and analytics software used by governments, large institutions, and increasingly commercial companies. This is not a meme startup with no revenue. Palantir generates billions of dollars in annual revenue, split between government contracts and commercial customers. Now, government contracts tend to be long-term and sticky, and commercial revenue adds growth. Palantir is also not known for being buried in traditional debt, and it maintains a large cash position. Now, for put sellers, that matters. Companies drowning in debt tend to fall harder and faster. Palantir is also extremely liquid. The stock trades heavily, the options chain is deep, and bid to ask spreads are tight. Liquidity matters because it gives you flexibility and clean fills. Now, Palantir can be volatile. It moves. Headlines move it. That volatility is exactly why options premium exists. Safety does not mean that the stock never drops. Safety simply means you are comfortable owning it at your chosen price. Now, here's the exact setup that we're using. Palantir stock is currently $177.75. We're looking at selling one put option that expires in 1 week. The strike price is $175. The delta is about 31. One contract. We're going to break each part down slowly. Selling the 175 put means this. If Palantir is below $175 at expiration, I may be required to buy 100 shares at $175. That's a purchase price of $17,500. This is why selling puts is not free money. Before you ever place the trade, you must be able to say this: I am okay owning 100 shares of Palantir at $175. If you can't say that calmly, you picked the wrong stock or the wrong strike price. Now, delta is one of the most confusing terms for beginners. Let's break it down simply. Delta simply means the statistical likelihood that the stock will close below your strike price by the time the contract expires. A delta of 31 means you're closer to the current stock price, you collect more premium, and there's a higher chance of being tested. Now remember these 2 points. Lower delta means less premium, more distance, and lower chance of assignment, while higher delta means more premium, less distance, and higher chance of assignment. There's no free lunch. You are always choosing a trade-off. Now, this is a weekly option, meaning it expires in about 1 week. Weeklies decay quickly. That's good for income, but they also move quickly. That means you need a plan. Weekly options are not set it and forget it. They are structured short-term commitments. Now let's talk about the $298 per week goal. This is not about forcing one trade to make exactly $298. It's about building a system where over time, your average weekly income targets that number. Some weeks you'll make more money. Some weeks you'll make less money. And some weeks you'll have to manage your positions carefully. Consistency comes from rules, not perfection. Now let's talk about realized gains versus unrealized gains. This is critical. Unrealized profits do not pay bills. If I sell this put and the option price drops quickly, I may choose to buy it back early and lock in the gain. I do not need to squeeze every last dollar out of the trade. Consistent realized gains matter more than theoretical maximum profit. This is how income traders survive long term. Now let's talk about what can happen next. There are only 3 possible outcomes. Outcome number 1, the option expires worthless and I keep all the premium. Option number 2, the option loses value before expiration and I buy it back and realize the gain. Or option number 3, Palantir is below $175 and I get assigned and buy the shares. That's it, nothing else. Now what happens if Palantir drops? This is the part most people are scared of, so let's talk about it calmly. What if Palantir drops below $175? First, I don't panic. I ask one question. Am I still okay owning Palantir at $175? If the answer is yes, I allow the assignment because that was always part of the plan. If the answer is no, I close the trade and I realize a controlled loss. Losses are a part of trading. What matters is that they are defined and intentional, not emotional. Now, assignment simply means that I now own 100 shares of Palantir at $175. From there, I can hold the stock or I can sell covered calls to generate more income. Assignment is not something to fear. It's a planned transition, not a surprise. Now, the biggest mistake beginners make is trying to avoid losses at all costs. That's how people get trapped. I focus on realizing gains, accepting losses when necessary, and avoiding forced decisions. Calm beats clever every day. Now, here's a beginner checklist. Write this down. There are 7 questions I ask myself before selling a put. Number 1, would I be okay owning 100 shares at my strike price? Number 2, is my position size appropriate? Number 3, is the stock and options chain liquid? Number 4, is the delta appropriate for my comfort level? Number 5, when will I take profits? Number 6, when will I accept a loss? And number 7, am I emotionally okay with assignment? Now, if you can answer all 7 of those questions calmly, you are ready. Now let's recap. Today we walked through selling a weekly $175 put on Palantir, while the stock was at $177.75. You now understand these things: what selling a put actually means, why Palantir is considered safe enough for this strategy, how delta and strike affect risk, how realized gains matter, and how to handle downside without panic. If you want a follow-up video where we manage this trade day by day, comment Palantir below. And be sure to subscribe to Cashflow Options Queen for more calm, rule-based options income focused on realized gains. Thanks for watching.